I'm also featured in the Hank Green video. I haven't watched it. Do I get trash talked? I started World War III.
I appear to have uncovered an Olympic mystery that is very cool, that no one seems to know about, and that I cannot explain. And I uncovered this mystery because of silly Twitter discourse, so we're gonna have to talk about Twitter a little bit in this video, I'm sorry. From like day 2 of the Olympics, I started seeing arguments about whether to rank countries in the Olympics by the number of gold medals won, or the number of total medals won, or some third thing that ranked the medals somehow. And
I can imagine the situation where people that watch both me and Hank Green just watch this video and then I appear.
Earlier this week, I saw this tweet, which then inspired this tweet. I love it.
Awesome. There he is. It was actually ridiculous. Because I made this tweet on a whim. I went to Excel, calculated the golds, silvers, and bronzes, and I posted this, and I left. And just days later, I would browse Twitter, see some post by an American, 200k likes. Who are they replying to? Some guy that is replying to me. And like, bro, what did I start? It just kept going. Weeks later, people still talking about this. Anyway, I've never thought that Hank Green will paraphrase my own words on his video.
Europe, the country, would have 116 gold, 122 silver, and 160 bronze medals. And
I probably get cooked, by the way. I just want to point out, everything I say and tweet is not me claiming facts. I don't even know how the Olympics work. It is me just sitting there spreading brain rot. I got caught trolling. I don't know what Hank Green is gonna say. I don't really care if he's gonna criticize me because I feel like he's a decently intelligent man. And I don't feel like I'm gonna get affected by it emotionally, but let's see.
This is just bound to get the discourse really stirred because it overlaps with other previous discourse about how Americans don't understand Europe and Europe doesn't understand America, inspiring more tweets about how different the states are.
Oh my God.
Until people in Connecticut are speaking Connecticutian, you will not be able to convince me that states are as different.
Hank Green is Europe built
from each other as European countries. But that's a completely different argument. Back to the medal thing. When I read this tweet, the first thing my mind thought was, well, Europe has way more people than the US, which it does, especially continental Europe, which has around 750 million people, which, you know, I guess that most Americans
would the 5
get
giraffe.
That wrong. But
funds for spreading misinformation, appreciate it.
Whatever. But Europe did still get more gold medals per capita than the US, even without Russia competing with 0.15 gold medals per million people to the US's 0.12. And that's like interesting, but also maybe not unexpected that it would be a bit higher because each country only gets to send 3 athletes per event, and continental Europe is lots of countries. Now that might not seem like it should matter because the best is still the best, and so whoever would win the gold medal.
Look, the reason why I even posted that tweet in the first place is because I was reading the original one, and I was like, why is this guy bringing up things nobody's talking about right now? Wait, like, I wouldn't give a single fuck if this person just tweeted, if this person just tweeted, oh my god, USA got first place, let's go. They just have to bring up Europeans, bro. These Europeans telling us that we are fat and obese and bullying us daily. Look at us, we have all the gold medals. I like leave me alone. I never said anything like that. Europeans, I don't think it's fair to compare America to singular countries from Europe. Like, isn't it a bit ridiculous? America has so many people and so many more resources than some fucking country like Bulgaria. Like, there's no way any European country by itself can compete. But then you bring up Europeans. And if you bring up Europeans, then, you know, might as well just combine all the medals to make it, you know, more equal.
Wins no matter how big the field of competitors is. So like there are some sports that have more and less randomness built into them, especially given that there might be weird random circumstances, like shot putting in the rain or getting COVID 2 days before your event. So there is probably some, but not a ton of benefit to having more athletes in the pool. But here's the thing. None of this matters. Ranking countries by medals is ridiculous.
I agree. It is so insane that people even come out to explain to me how their country is superior than my country because their country has more gold medals, as if they themselves sat there and competed and practiced and trained. Nobody's country is superior than anyone's country. because of why you guys typing 1? I didn't say type 1. I don't think it's fair comparing your country to other countries based on gold medals. A little bit silly, you know? I already know Bulgaria's shit. Let me be proud of my boy for beating the world record in weightlifting.
While I was making this video, I found somebody who ranked the countries not by how many medals they got, but by the total value of the medal in the medals, which is as far...
By the total value of the medals that if you'd actually just take the medal from the medals, metal medals.
As I can tell, just as good of a way to do it as any of the other ways, and also the US still wins.
USA.
There's just so many things that matter here. Population size, infrastructure, level of affluence, also stuff as simple as the number of events that athletes can compete in. Like, there's only men and women's pole vault. But in swimming, there's different strokes and different race lengths, and men and women's for each of those strokes and race lengths. There's 37 swimming events in the Olympics. And yes, it is weird that it's an odd number. You get to figure that one out on your own. And it turns out that the US is really good in swimming, like in part because we have a lot of swimming pools. And we also have a lot
Okay, no offense to Hank Green, but I don't think the amount of swimming pools correlates to how good of a swimmer you are. But I might be wrong in this math.
of schools with Olympic regulation pools and swim teams that compete all throughout high school and college. So we're really
We did swimming in university. In school, I don't know. Either way, we did swim, Max. But again, I don't think it's based on how many swimming pools there are.
good at swimming, and there are lots of opportunities to win medals at swimming, which is why like 8 of our 40 gold medals are
Okay,
in swim
listen.
events.
If you're gonna swim in the Danube River, because this guy said we have the Danube, in Bulgarian it's Dunav, you're gonna get radiation poisoning probably. Australia did pretty well, actually. I think Americans were losing their shit because they thought Australia was gonna beat them. The Donau River, Danube, Dunav, whatever you want to call it, is so fucking dirty. It's like Fallout rat poisoning. You know, the little meter thing that keeps popping up when you go into a radiation zone? That's it.
But I think there is something that might be very illustrative, something that might teach us something about the world that isn't explained by any of this, and something that no one has talked about, and something I desperately want explained. So did you notice something interesting
Thanks so much
about
for
that
the
guy's tweet? Europe
Okay.
won 116 gold, 122 silver,
Oh no, he's bringing up my tweet again.
and 160 bronze medals. That's 0.21 bronze medals per million people. Way
Did he do the math himself, or does he just trust my calculations blindly? How does he know we have 160 bronze medal? Maybe I lied. Maybe it was my full of shit.
I went too far down the rabbit hole, and it's not a 2024 fluke. In 2021, countries in continental Europe won 114 gold medals and 150
Okay, he actually calculated, which makes me feel better because then my math was correct.
bronze. In 2016, 113 gold medals, 139 bronze. In 2012, 108 gold medals, 138 bronze. I don't need to go through the whole thing with you. Here's a graph of the last 20 years of
I want to point out that I've done 2 years of advanced mathematics just to be able to make a tweet to be featured in Hank Green's video.
Olympic Games showing the gold, silver, and bronze medals from continental Europe. There is always significantly more bronze. And this is very different from the gold medal versus total medal conversation because it controls for a bunch of stuff. This isn't an effect of a sport having more events or a country having more people or being more affluent. It's the same group of countries over and over, and it's comparing the same events that happened in any given year. But every Olympics for the last 20 years, possibly longer, I just got bored, shows continental Europe having significantly more bronze medals than gold medals. I can think of a
Hope
few
you're getting
reasons why
paid.
this might
I think my last paycheck from Twitter was $40, so we're going crazy with the Twitter salary.
be the
This
case.
monthly, by
My
the way.
anchor is always that like money and socioeconomic status usually explains most things. So it seems somewhat likely to me that less affluent countries are more likely to be able to identify and invest in the most elite athletes, but have less ability to invest in like people a little bit further down the ranks. And that's somewhat borne out by China's numbers, which are pretty heavily weighted toward gold. But the US
I do want to point out, I think there's a lot of countries that don't actually care about this, and there's a lot of countries that put in a lot of work to actually compete in the Olympics. And I feel like China, thank you so much. Welcome to the YouTube membership thing. And I think China puts in, and USA, China. I feel like the Olympics are just a dick measuring contest for China, USA, and Russia, but Russia is banned right now. So China, USA, right? Yeah, China, USA. Everybody else was not even close to the amount of gold medals because they have the population and they have the resources. And Australia, yeah, but Australia was pretty high up. They actually popped off unironically, Australia popped off, but it's still like half the medals. Yeah, because for America, I feel like it's really important to keep up, you know, the entire shtick of them being the greatest country, right? And I feel like China as well. The Olympics are just genuinely a dick measuring contest for the big ass countries. Just today, or like recently, because I only now became old enough to actually care about the Olympics even a little bit. I don't know how well Russia competed in the last years, but I assume they did pretty well because I feel like Russia has always put a big emphasis on their athletes as well. So I don't know how good they did before that. So I don't have any basis because I haven't checked and I don't really care enough to check. But I think it is insane to me that a country as big as USA, with 50 times the population than Bulgaria. It's 50, right? So no, it's not 50. 500. No, it's not 500. Am I crazy? 6 million, 10, 60, 50. Yeah, 50 times. 50 times the population of Bulgaria, 10,000 times the fucking resources, competes just to have random people on Twitter to tell me how stupid I am. I was called so many slurs, by the way, by Americans. It's like hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Bulgarians are stupid. You're stupid. You can't math. You're a moron. The R word. I got DM'd by Americans telling me I'm a moron. I had the original tweet guy tell me he doesn't care because he's gonna be busy working his 66-hour shift. I can show you the tweet. I already showed it on one of my things. I'm gonna hide now. But it was so funny. Oh, darkness, guys. I'm sorry for the darkness. So this was the original thread. As I explained the replies, I choose Europeans because it would have been, you know, our word if I said something like Germans. And I said, you're getting racist. And then he said, I could not give less of a fuck. I have a 66-hour work week ahead of me and enjoy your likes. Why is he proud about a 66-hour work week? That is insane to me. Either way, I think it's insane how patriotic people are about America, but then once the Olympics are over, they're all gonna go back to talking shit about their country and how they want to leave. And I think it's just funny. It's just like, I've said it before, and America is great, I'm sure, but I would rather live in any Balkan country than in America. And I just the fact that I've been to America, and it's cool to visit, but like, it's not that amazing. It is really, people are so blindsided by the American, how do I say it? I was gonna say advertisements, but the American image that they're trying to sell, that they forget that other countries are pretty chill. The American dream. Like, I wouldn't live in America, and I don't know, I would rather live in any Balkan country, because everything you have in America, we have, and all of the things, no offense, you have more money, bigger guns, nuclear arsenal, but none of that actually helps the random citizen. All of the things you have, we have better. And we purely have it better because we don't have the money to invest into fucking weapons and armies. We don't care. I don't even think we have a functioning army. We have some small army, but it's so minute. But again, I feel like people brag about things that affect them negatively as if it's a great thing, and I wouldn't brag about that personally. And even if America is better, for some reason they assume that everybody that is not America is a poor village with no electricity, no internet, no nothing, and then they sit in some rural city in America that gets swept up by a tornado every year, has shit internet, and are hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt just to shit on Bulgaria on the internet because Boris said, you know, maybe chill, guys. They all think we're rural Siberia. My favorite question that comes from Americans is, do you speak Russian in Bulgaria? What language do you speak in Bulgaria? Is it Russian? I'm like, oh my god, I will beat somebody with a rock next time I hear that question. It is my biggest pet peeve. I have to look at them straight into their eyes and tell them we speak Bulgarian, because they can't fathom the fact that we have our own language here. And if America is so great, why didn't they win the weightlifting gold medal and didn't break the world record? Bulgaria, Bulgaria, Bulgaria.
It's an affluent nation, and it shows pretty much no correlation.
Let's get back to the video.
Gold, silver, and bronze. And yeah, I know I spent way too much time on this. I think there's also a possibility that the increased numbers of athletes who come from European countries weight them more toward bronze, which might actually be a more randomized medal placing.
We're just lucky.
Might just be a better judge of who is winners first because gold medal winners are more likely to be truer outliers, while bronze medal recipients are closer to the middle of the pack, and so randomness might play a bigger role, which would mean that having a larger number of athletes gives you more bronze medal winners, and more athletes
Thanks so much for the
what you
two,
get when you lump
Giraffe.
a bunch of countries together. But it might be something else. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to know. Like, I wouldn't know how to design the study. I wouldn't know how to do the statistics. All I know is that because of like some snarky discourse tweet, I got curious about something and seemed to have uncovered a true phenomenon. Like a thing that exists and that I would love for someone to write a full research paper
I
on.
made Hank Green ponder his orb.
I'd especially love that because I did not have time to check my work. John, I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks for coming with me.
Awesome. Great moment for Burger Nation. Oh, wait. I forgot. Before I end this thing, I'm gonna scroll past this. Seeing an Overwatch streamer I watched in a Vlog Brothers video, and in fact being the main spark of this video because of the discourse he sparked, is both hilarious and confusing. Bulgar is making it big out here. Hank referencing a Bulgar tweet was not on my 2024 bingo card. I just love reading these comments. No way Bulgar, a smaller Overwatch streamer, makes it into Vlog Brothers. I was not expecting Bulgar and Hank Green crossover. It's by streamer Bulgar, talking about a Bulgar tweet. Bulgar, an Overwatch streamer. In no world did I ever expect to see Hank talk about a Bulgar tweet. This is great. I actually got DM'd by people. They're like, bro, I was watching Hank Green. I finished watching your Mercy video and I clicked on a Hank Green video and I saw you again. I was like, what the fuck? What the chungus? All right, boys. Let's warm up. The yap maxing is done.